Shalom, shalom, Yasharal. I pray all of y'all are well today. And I pray that you're ready for this week. And that this Monday, you are blessed. And you get done whatever you have on your plate for the week. I got something I want to talk to you about. I got a couple minutes, and I want to share something with you. But before I get into it, I will try to be quick, but before I do, let's give all praise, all honor, all glory, and all esteem to the one and only Abba Yahuwah, our wonderful creator. And I don't know about you, but I know I need to be given Abba more time per day, which I dwell on him every minute of every day. But I need to be setting more time aside just for praising him, because he is worthy of way more than that. So, and I know that we can find time to do that in our days. And if you're not doing it, just think of this as a friendly reminder. And I'm pointing 4 fingers right at myself. So, and I'm only saying it out of love, and because I was thinking about how I need to do the same. But what I want to talk to you about is this morning, going through my news, I came to I was checked once again by a reality that I hadn't fully grasped, if I can say that, the severity in full of it. I have been, myself and others, I'm sure there is plenty of other people who has predicted the way this show is going from before it began. And it is going exactly the way I knew it would, because it's elementary. And they know that. And they don't have to make it any more difficult than that. And I've talked about it before. And I don't think that the reason they don't have to work very hard is because the people are just that ignorant. I believe that there is a majority of those people that we say are blind. They are doing it for a virtue signal. They are blindly ignoring the blatant facts, so they don't get pointed out as one of us, so they can remain included with society. You know what I'm talking about. But I'm gonna play a couple videos, 3 of these little videos for you, and I'm gonna show you what they just recently started talking about. I'm sure you've probably heard it, and I have too. But what checked me this morning was what you'll hear in this last video, the 3rd video I'll play. It is going to be what they need to put us in those machines that FEMA ordered 30,000 of them here a while back. Those things that we'll go into, and that big piece of metal will fall down, and our noggin will go one way, and the rest of us will be a couple feet away, if you know what I mean. I knew they would do this. I knew they would begin to call those who don't want to be a guinea pig the reason for the majority of the fatalities. And they're doing it, and they just started. They poked at it a little bit lightly, but now they're going to start fully implementing this talking point. And it's more than that. And what checked me about it was what this means for someone like myself. From here on out, the stuff, the content that I've put out, just the Facebook post alone, and you, if you've put out any kind of post that is a voice of reason, so to speak, that is all the evidence they're going to need to consider you a murderer, basically. And that is what they'll say. And that's what me and other people have been saying. But what I didn't fully digest was what I'm doing is definitely going to cost me. And like I said, I knew that, but some things, we acknowledge, but we don't fully take in the full severity of it. And that hit me this morning. And I was, it was one of those things that tried to install fear into me. It didn't work. And it gave me a choice at that moment when it hit me to either continue forward or to stop and retreat. Let's watch these 3 short videos and I'll come back and tell you my decision, which I'm sure you know. Oh gosh, sorry about that. And there's ads. These are short videos with short ads. We can get through it. Just check these out though. You're gonna want to see them if you haven't already. Oh, one sec. Forgot my Bluetooth was on.
There is a clear message that is coming through. This is becoming a pandemic of the unvaccinated. We are seeing outbreaks of cases in parts of the country that have low vaccination coverage because unvaccinated people are at risk. And communities that are fully vaccinated are generally faring well. The good news is that if you're fully vaccinated, you are protected against severe COVID, hospitalization, and death, and are even protected against the known variants, including the Delta variant circulating in this country. If you are not vaccinated, you remain at risk. And our biggest concern is that we are going to continue to see preventable cases, hospitalizations, and sadly deaths among the unvaccinated. As we have said, this is very heterogeneous across the country, and these decisions have to be made at the local level. If you have areas of low vaccination and high case rates, then I would say local policymakers might consider whether masking at that point would be something that would be helpful for their community until they scale up their vaccination rates, because more people than not in the community are unvaccinated.
Now watch here what old Bo Jiden has to say.
is the platforms like Facebook. They're killing people. I mean, look, the only pandemic we have is among the unvaccinated. And they're killing people.
Now this last one is the most important. Watch what this guy says.
Why would an oil and gas company tie executives' pay to lowering the carbon emissions intensity of their operations? Because we believe in actions, not just words.
Today, I issued a Surgeon General's advisory on the dangers of health misinformation. Surgeon General advisories are reserved for urgent public health threats. And while those threats have often been related to what we eat, drink, and smoke, today we live in a world where misinformation poses an imminent and insidious threat to our nation's health. Health misinformation is false, inaccurate, or misleading information about health, according to the best evidence at the time. And while it often appears innocuous on social media apps, on retail sites, or search engines, the truth is that misinformation takes away our freedom to make informed decisions about our health and the health of our loved ones. During the COVID-19 pandemic, health misinformation has led people to resist wearing masks in high-risk settings. It's led them to turn down proven treatments and to choose not to get vaccinated. This has led to avoidable illnesses and death. Simply put, health information has cost us lives. Modern technology companies have enabled misinformation to poison our information environment with little accountability to their users. They've allowed people who intentionally spread misinformation, what we call disinformation, to have extraordinary reach. They've designed product features, such as like buttons, that reward us for sharing emotionally charged content, not accurate content. And their algorithms tend to give us more of what we click on, pulling us deeper and deeper into a well of misinformation. Now, we need an all-of-society approach to fight misinformation, and that's why this advisory that I issued today has recommendations for everyone.
One second, folks. Uno momento. As soon as I got ready to do that, wouldn't you know, someone would come right up and want to start chatting. But you heard what he said right there. And most of us already knew, I knew what all my posts and videos would eventually cost. But like I said, today I got a full understanding, I guess, for lack of a better word, what it fully entails. And look, and like I said, we've done put enough out there for them to absolutely murk us when the time calls. And I've known that. And I knew there was no turning back a long time ago. But look, he was saying that the misinformation was intentional and that it caused people to not wear masks, not to get vaccines. But look at it like this. What did the SS guys, the Gestapo people, what kind of propaganda did they promote before the horrible thing that they done? And other situations similar to that. And when that was happening, anyone that spoke out against it, I'm sure, was considered to be spreading misinformation, and I'm sure they paid a heavy price. But were they wrong or were they right? We know, those of us with a brain can clearly see the completely ridiculously stupid agenda that they push. And we know that these people are more educated and more intelligent than that. But they do that to poke fun because they realize they don't have to work any harder than that. It truly is elementary, the strategy and the talking points that they follow. They put the truth all through everything they say. And like I've said before, I don't think this is largely a matter of blindness, but rather a matter of people not wanting to let go of the world and their position in it. So, if I were to back out, which it wouldn't do me any good, because I've already done enough. Trust me, they wouldn't. Like if someone like me stopped and begged them for forgiveness, maybe if they wanted me to be a poster child or something, I doubt it, but maybe. They would never allow you to get out of what you've got coming for what we've done. And that the ultimate penalty that one would pay for doing that is going to cost them eternity. And the price and the reward that one is going to get for having courage and faith in Messiah and the Most High and standing up and doing what is right is going to be well worth it, for sure. So, the tightening is going to begin. Like you can see right here, they're saying the real pandemic. I need to be wiser for sure in the way I'm talking, because they took a video down this morning that I posted on my backup channel. I don't think they gave me a strike, but I put a video up last night and they pulled it down instantly, called it misinformation, and it wasn't. It was actually someone else talking, and what he said wasn't misinformation. What the problem was he was a pro-vaccinator, I guess, at one time. And since all this, he has changed his tune, and they don't like hearing that. But I'm going to show you a little bit of their agenda, which I'm sure most of you know. But let's just look a little bit here at some of the stuff they do that's just so blatant. They like to rub it in our face, for sure. I've been saying that the 5th G will come out this fall. That's what this is saying, a lot of these articles. And a lot of these naysayers, these people that want everything to go back to normal, when I talk about this to them, with them, they say, what are you talking about? That's already out. My phone says 5, right on it. And I try to tell them that's not the same. It hasn't been rolled out. And there's plenty of articles and other stuff, literature, to show you that that's the case. But look at right here. I want to show you what they continue to say throughout these articles. Fast, or some variation of the word, is often used to describe the speeds promised by 57. I'm just going to call that 57 because that is what they mean when they say 57. G is the seventh letter. The same cannot be said about the rollout of 57 networks in the U.S. The promise of fifth-generation wireless networks has drawn headlines for at least 3 years, but 57 that lives up to the hype has yet to arrive for most Americans. See, all of the major U.S. wireless carriers say they have nationwide 57 service, but industry analysis say that service is largely indistinguishable from 4G LTE service. Wireless services with speeds notably better than what's available today may not reach most Americans until later this year at the earliest. Research firm Evercore ISI forecast. Overall, you're looking at some time in the end of 21 to the end of 23 to get how many? 2/3 of the country's population covered. Do you think that's just a coincidence that they put? Why wouldn't they want to, if they're trying to advertise for this technology, wouldn't they say they're going to try to get the majority or a lot? Why is it that they make sure they say 2/3? Where do we hear 2/3? You know what I'm talking about. In the book of Revelation, yeah. And they say this over and over. That time frame means the first carrier isn't expected to reach 2/3 of the country. Now let's go. If you want, go read that article. You'll see it's all throughout it. They say 2/3 over and over again. Now let's see what they say in this little vaccination article. As the highly transmissible Delta Cobra vomit continues to spread rapidly across the U.S. and elsewhere around the world, scientists and other health experts are warning that indoor muzzles, mandates, and other public health measures will likely make a return in the U.S. this fall, like we've been saying. And they just know, they know that the country, which just celebrated the 4th with some of its first large gatherings in more than a year, is headed towards a dangerous fall season when Delta is expected to cause another surge in new Cobra cases. Health experts say already the dominant vomit in the U.S., Delta will hit the states with the lowest vaccination rates the hardest, unless those states and businesses reintroduce muzzle rules, capacity limits, and other public health measures that they've largely rolled back in recent months, experts say. They never do tell you who the experts are, but the experts say it's probably people with no expertise and none of what they're talking about. With new mutations discovered every few weeks, many scientists now predict that Cobra will continue circulating around the world for at least the next 2 to 3 years, requiring nations to reinstitute public health measures on an ad hoc basis for the foreseeable future. Authorities in Aussie, South Africa, and Asia have recently reintroduced curfews or other measures to curb rising Delta outbreaks. Japan just declared a Cobra state of emergency. let me get down through here and I want to show you the reason I'm reading this article. And I'm pretty sure this is the article I wanted to read. You can see their talking points though. How they know it's going to be a very dangerous fall with large swaths of the country still unjabbed. And the surging, they just know that this vomit delta is surging. Because a lot of the states here have largely done away with their requirements. But now if you, hold on one sec. New lockdowns coming this fall. And this is the one I was just on. Must have been this one Anyways, it's in both the vaccination articles and news as well as the 57 articles and news that they want. In the vaccine articles, they want 2/3, 70% of the population covered, and with the 57, they want 2/3 of the population covered. In the Daigle population prediction analysis, 2/3 of America's and plenty of other countries' population will be dwindled down by 2/3. In the book of Revelations, 2/3 of man will be gone. That is what's happening, and they tell us that this is what's happening. They do not lie. They do not hold their punches. They come right out and they tell you exactly what they're doing. But people, I want you to know, if you didn't know already, that what you're doing in your social media endeavors to shed light on what's going on, and I'm sure you know this, but when that day comes when we have to pay that price, the reward for doing so is going to be so worth it. And just doing all we can for Abba Yahuwah, Yahusha, and our brothers and sisters, that's all the reward I need anyways. I don't need any more reward. How could I not stand up for what's right and for my brothers and my sisters, my children, and for Abba and his son Yahusha? What's it say? Yahusha said, what better gift to give than one who will gladly lay down his life for his friend? I will gladly lay mine down. And if they expect that for me to stop spreading what they call misinfo, which it is not, and if it's misinfo, why don't they show me how it is instead of just putting a fact check on there, which they rarely do anyways, and with no proof of that fact check being correct, just throwing out accusations that turn out to be false, and what we are saying turns out to be true. just wanted to show that with you and let you know I love you, and I hope and pray that you have a blessed Monday and a blessed week. And don't forget to give Abba Yahuwah a decent amount of your time in praising him. Shalom, shalom. Peace out. D is out.